watching Live Today TV. I'm Randy Robison. I have a very special guest from the U.S. Army, Captain Scotty Smiley. Welcome to our little set here at Live Today TV.
Thanks, Randy. Thanks for having me.
If you watch the show, if you didn't watch the show, you need to watch Live Today and see the show where Scotty talks about what happened to him and the suicide bomber that nearly cost him his life, but cost him his sight. And that's all on the television show. So if you haven't seen that, you can always go to livetoday.org and check that out. But I want to talk to you about some of the things, because I've heard some rumors about some things that you have done that most people who still have their sight haven't even done. Tell me, is it true you've snow skied?
I have. It was a lot of fun. It was good.
How does it work for a blind person to ski?
Well, I was invited by a company, Foresight Ski Guides, to go skiing. My wife and I, they flew us out there, provided a hotel room, and then gave us the skis and a free lift ticket for 4 days at Vail, Colorado. Oh, and I basically had a professional ski guide who grabbed my pole right underneath my arm, rode the chairlift up with me, and as we got off the chairlift, just would hold my pole, and then he'd walk down we'd ski down the cat trail till we got to the top of the slope, and then he'd point my ski slope in the direction. He goes, "That's downhill," and he'd go, "And right," and I'd go to the right, and he'd just follow me about 3 yards behind, and he'd say, "And left," and I'd turn to the left, and right, and it's weird to say that, but that's how a fully blind person skis down a hill, just following the direction of the ski guide behind. So it's awesome.
A lot of people that can see that mountain are terrified. How do you overcome the fear that's got to be a little bit there?
I don't see the mountain. I mean, there is a little bit of fear, but at the same time, it's about having fun. It's enjoying life. And, you know, that fear, it's funny because there's this one time I was on the mountain and the ski guy goes, "And right," and how how I perceive the "and right," or how quick he says it, depends on how quick I have to turn. And as I'm slowly turning to the right, I just turn. He stops me about 5 minutes later, and my wife goes up, "You almost hit that tree. I can't believe it." I'm like, "What tree are you talking about?" Yeah. So a lot of the fears that sighted people have, I never perceive, because I'm just skiing on God's great earth and having and enjoying the weather.
Yeah, walk by faith, not by sight.
Exactly.
Ski that way too. Now, you've been on other mountains. Tell me about some of your other extreme sports, if you will.
I had the amazing opportunity to climb Mount Rainier. Camp Patriot, an amazing organization that helps wounded soldiers basically get back into life by doing outdoor activities, invited me to climb Mount Rainier. And I asked the guy, "Do you know who you're talking to?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Do you know I'm blind?" He goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah." So again, just started climbing, followed the footsteps behind my guide in front of me. It took one step after another, and you know, getting up to Camp Muir was fairly easy, but it was after Camp Muir up to the top at 14,410 feet that it really began to be difficult. As every step, I don't know what I'm touching, what I'm feeling, as my whole entire body's tense, my calves are burning, my chest and my stomach, my core is very sore just from every step I'm taking. And I mean, it was amazing on how exhausted that I was being a blind climber. And it was sad that one time I reached a point and told the guide, "I don't think I can make it anymore." And you know, luckily he says, "Well, we'll see how you feel on the next stop." And you know, so again, it was just that perseverance and taking step by step. And you know, and I think, you know, it was the thousands of prayers that I offered up to the Lord that I knew was continually guiding me, and He was giving me the strength to put one step in front of the other, if not carrying me up that mountain. And I successfully climbed Mount Rainier.
What motivates you to do these kinds of things?
I was a very active person before I was blinded, and I think that was one of the things that, you know, us persistent humans just don't want to give up certain things, and activity was something that I just didn't really want to give up. I do triathlons now. I'm active. I do PT with my company. So activity is not something that I just wanted to leave at the doorstep, you know, with my blindness. I wanted to be active. I want to snow ski. I've been wakeboarding, climbing mountains. I've been surfing. Never been surfing before in my life. And I think God was just giving me, you know, the perseverance and the strength to do things that I wish to do.
Okay, a technical question here. A triathlon is biking, swimming, and running.
Correct.
I can see the running. How do you bike?
It's a tandem. So I'm the grunt work behind the tandem. I just sit on a seat, hold some handlebars, and pedal as hard as I can. The guy in front, he's got the hard job of carrying my weight, steering me, braking me. Of course, he better be pedaling too,
Yeah.
otherwise I'm carrying 400 pounds. And the swimming, I could not get around how a blind person could swim until I finally figured out this last triathlon. As I just took a surgical tubing, tied a knot around my wrist, and put a knot around his wrist. We had about a 1 foot length between us, and he just kept in stroke with me, and there you go.
Wow. Now, who are these guys that help you out?
Just amazing friends. Jeff Pickler, another amazing Christian guy who's active duty in the Army, posted at West Point, conducted the triathlon with me. I think he was dragging me on the run. Actually, I know he was. But again, it's just trusting in people, trusting in people, being blind. There's a huge dependence upon others, and from my perception, a huge dependence upon God. And I think if I didn't depend on others, I would be a pathetic, self-pitying person who wouldn't do anything because I couldn't do anything by myself. And I am a company commander now, and I do a lot by myself, but if it's traveling, visiting soldiers, I need a driver. I need some type of assistance. And I think it's that assistance that not only the Army provides, but fellow believers in Christ have assisted me through life.
Well, instead of being someone who's been limited, you have become an inspiration to a lot of people I know. And that's really an incredible thing. Where do you see yourself, going from here? You've jumped out of airplanes, you've conquered mountains. What are your goals in life?
I think, it kind of hit me after I was blinded, and I think, I was raised as a Christian and lived a Christian life, but I really began to understand what my purpose in life should be, and that was to glorify God. And right now, God's given me the ability to stay on active duty and to assist people in the Army and even in the civilian world with understanding God's greater purpose in their lives. And I think as long as God continually allows me to serve, I'm going to love to continue to serve my country as active duty in the Army. I think as activities come, if I'm invited to climb whatever mountain, ski down whatever slope, if my boss will let me off work, hey, I'll love to grab it and grab hold and go for it.
Well, thank you for your service to our country, your sacrifice for our freedoms, and your continued inspiration.
Thanks,
Captain
Randy.
Scotty Smiley right here on Life Today TV.